Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today on our 2016 Kia Optima, we're going to go over how to replace the tensioner pulley. First, you need to remove your serpentine belt by putting your 17mm wrench, or if you have a nice small ratchet socket, you can maybe get in there. The 17mm wrench, turn it counterclockwise. And just pull this belt off and remove it. Alright. So we pull the belt and we remove it. And to get this undone, there are two bolts. There's a 6mm Allen head down here, and there's or hex head, and there's one up top. So we'll remove that bolt, and I'm going to go up top and remove that, and that will be in a photo of the bolt, and I'll be right back. So we've loosened that bolt. Now we just do our best to work it down and, well, gotta figure out the right direction to get this out. We can work it around and get it to come out the top, which is good. No need to jack up the motor and loosen any motor mounts to be able to get this out. And you would be replacing this. Sometimes people like to replace them whenever you replace a serpentine belt, or if you don't feel like it's keeping your belts tight and you're getting a lot of squealing from this belt, your serpentine belt, then this would generally be the culprit, because what's inside here is a big old spring, and that spring can wear out, and so then you just replace the whole unit. And sometimes if it's just the pulley part here, you can buy just a pulley and the bearing go on. You would undo this and put that on, but those are the few common things you would find wrong with your tensioner pulley. But when you want to go ahead and put it back on, the same thing, we're just going to work it in from the top. And it's got a little pin here on the back side that's going to line up in there to when you got it set in there, and then you would just tighten the screws on there. Okay, we're going to go back in and we're going to install this tensioner pulley and put it back in and show you how to do that. So, like I said, there's this guide pin you're going to want to line up. So you're going to want to line that guide pin up right there. And then you've got your two bolts, one at the top and one on the bottom. So we're going to start by working our pulley mechanism back in here. I pulled it out through the top, so I should be able to just work it back down. And there was no jacking of the engine or anything that needed to be done. Okay, so I lined the pin up. We got it all shaken down in there. Now I'm going to start this top screw in. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and start the bottom one a little bit before I tighten this screw, just to make sure that everything did line up. I'm pretty sure I got that little set guide pin in there. We're just going to make sure. Alright, so that's started down there, so everything's good to go. Now let's just tighten this up. And that's how it looks at from the top. You got your tensioner pulley right there, and the tensioner mechanism is right here. Tighten this hex bolt here of size number 6, and now we'll go down to the bottom and we'll tighten that one up. You may need to move your tensioner a little bit just by putting your wrench on it. I had to do that to get it out, but same thing. Just need to move it a little bit to be able to get access into this bolt. And also when you're tightening, it helps if you go clockwise instead of trying to go counterclockwise there. Okay, so that's hand tight there. Now put the ratchet on, and again just keep your tensioner pulley out of the way a little bit. So just make it good and tight, not crazy tight. I'm sure there's a torque setting, but you know, it's not always done. Alright, so we're gonna just go ahead and put the belt back on. Put our new belt back on after we've replaced that tensioner. So the same concept as I explained before, but you're gonna put the belt up in there. You're gonna wrap it around, make sure all the ribs line up where they need to be, or that they line up. So this has got 5 ribs. We're gonna want all 5 ribs in there. And then we're gonna take our wrench, loosen our tensioner, work its way around, make sure that all of the ribs are in the grooves all the way around on all the pulleys, and that is how you would replace your tensioner pulley and vice versa, your serpentine belt. If you're just doing the serpentine belt, you would just release this, take the belt off, put the new one on. But if you're doing the tensioner pulley at the same time, you now know how to do that tensioner pulley. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.